Today we have another young Indian with us as part of the Voice of the Young series. Hello, everybody. Good to be with you again. Today we have with us Yash Naik. Over to you, Yash.
Hello, thank you for having me here. It's a great opportunity to speak to everyone. My name is Yash Naik. I'm based out of Pune, Maharashtra, in India. I'm a chartered accountant by education. To talk about my education, I've worked. I've completed my internship as a part of my chartered accountancy course in international tax and mergers and acquisitions. So basically, it is a very niche area of tax advisory where we advise corporate entities about their tax matters, and it is a very interesting area. I think it has given me a large idea of what I want to do in life. Apart from that, I have developed a lot of interest in a multitude of topics because of this. So working in this area, I've had the opportunity to work on multiple research projects.
So just a second, how long have you been working?
So I've worked for close to 3 years as a part of my internship.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the extent of my internship. Now working here, I came across a lot of policy issues which are interesting issues. So for example, we are having a global minimum tax which is being discussed all over the globe. We are having lots of discussions with respect to the taxation of the digital economy, etc. So this really introduced me to the policy world, to geopolitics, to economics as well, since taxation is definitely a big part of how economics and fiscal policy. So those are basically the kind of interest I have. I have recently completed my chartered accountancy degree, so now I'm really exploring multiple opportunities. Just going out there and seeing what to do with life. So that is about that would be like a brief introduction about for me from my side. And yeah, so I would say that would be my introduction. To talk about the topic which I would really like to discuss, as we discussed. I think
let's go.
Yeah. So I think as a recent graduate, I would like to discuss a lot about education, higher education probably, and how the high school time, the experience which one gets in high school, and how the education policy during high school can really influence this. So I would like to divide this into two major areas of discussion. Okay. So firstly, I would like to discuss the high school experience which I personally had, and how it led me to becoming a CA, getting into say tax related stuff, and getting interested into on policy matters, on economics, etc. So being in high school, we don't really have a lot of introduction towards the commerce side of subjects. So for example, we don't really have we have economics for 2 years, which is a very small subject, right? So I really had to read a lot of extracurricular books, maybe from our school library, maybe from public sources. So I read a very old book. It was maybe a 1995 edition on economics, which was called Basics of Economics. So I would say that is basically my origin story as to how I came across this career path. And that really got me thinking as to if I had not come across this particular book in the school library, then probably I would have chosen a different career path. And I think that is a very big area of improvement in the whole education policy, where we can have students being introduced to different areas which they can pursue. So as a part of our 10th standard curriculum, we had an aptitude test to choose which stream we have to take. So in India, we have this wherein we have to choose a stream in 11th standard. Right. So now I think that is a good initiative, because I think it was started in our 10th standard. It was the first time that even we had that kind of a basic aptitude test. But I think there should be a more nuanced and much more detailed introduction to this area of topics. So for example, maybe economics. We had economics maybe for 10 marks out of 600 marks paper which we wrote for 10th standard. And it was a very very mundane sort of syllabus which we had. So I think we should have much more robust approach to this. We did not have any introduction to say law. my idea of law, what law profession would mean is something which, largely we take from the serials which watch. I used to read a lot of books. So I used to read a lot of fiction books which were legal dramas.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
they don't really give you a real picture of what the legal profession is. So, by chance, I stumbled across in my internship into tax advisory, and it is a largely it was going through legal documents, helping clients present their case in front of various forums, etc. And it is very interesting. I found it very interesting because it's largely a research job. But the idea which I had when I was in 10th standard, or when I was choosing my graduation degree even, was that, like I said, the way everyone sees in fiction is wherein you're arguing in court. So that is a very misleading approach,
Yeah.
misleading introduction to that field.
Yeah.
And I understand that the fiction and the larger media is always going to be like this, but there should be a very minute pushback from the education system, where they introduce you to, okay, you have this well thought, well expressed area of law, but you also have this area which is a much bigger area, and definitely an important area of law. So that people are really aware as to what avenues they have when they're choosing their career, when they're choosing their stream.
Yeah.
So uh, that is one side of it. And I would like to add that I was born and brought up in a city. I was born in a middle class, well-to-do family. So I had access to various books. I had access to the internet
Yeah.
since childhood. So this really helped me actually explore these areas. So I would like to tell my story about, like I said, I read a book. It was a 1995 published book. So it mentions just that the collapse of the Soviet Union, etc. And it is talking about that era. And
Yeah.
I followed up with various books. So I would just like to mention a couple of books which I read, which really got
Yeah.
me interested in the field of
Yeah.
finance.
Sure.
I read The Ascent of Money, which is written by Niall Ferguson, and I read Lords of Finance, which is written by Liaquat Ali. And definitely, I read them in maybe in 10th standard, and I would probably have understood like 10-15% of it. And I read it again in the first year of my chartered accountancy course, and where I understood a lot more of it. But they really set me towards the path of pursuing a career in finance. And but the thing I would like to point out is these are pretty rare books. I mean, you don't find it everywhere.
No.
And my father told me that about one of these books. Now someone who doesn't have a father who knows this, or who
Yeah.
doesn't have access to these books, is never going to even understand
Yeah.
what this is going to be. They will maybe realize it very late in their career. So
Yeah.
I think we should have a very robust change in the syllabus in our 9th and 10th standard, so that people are able to be introduced to all these subjects, especially with respect to humanities. Because in my experiences with respect to commerce, with respect to humanities, so I would like to concentrate on that.
Sure.
Uh,
Sure.
so maybe with respect to economics, maybe with respect to law, even psychology, which is again much underrepresented topic in Indian schools. And all such topics which we need to find our way in our syllabus. They need to find their way in a government, since government is largely involved in Indian education in a government sponsored way, so that it is accessible not only to people who have say relatives or friends working in this area, but they should really have equal access to these fields. And the reason for this is really simple, because there might be hundreds of people who are really made for this field, who have natural talent for these fields,
Yeah.
and we are missing out of them, and we are missing out on having a very robust exchange of ideas on these topics.
Yes.
So that would be the first half of what I would like to discuss, is the accessing the education, accessing the knowledge of this education. So just to add one point, not it is just not enough that people understand what options we have. So for example, you have, say, psychology, you have law, but I think we need to develop a culture where people are, high school students or junior college students, they get opportunities to work with professionals here. So that one thing is a perception which we have about the profession, how it is going to be. Like I said again about taking my example about the law, how the profession is going to be. We have some perception in our mind, but I think if we really actually go and work with someone in that field, then you get a much deeper understanding of it, and you understand what you get to think whether I'm going to enjoy this doing day to day, what kind of tasks I have to do on a day to day basis. So this is very very important, and I think there are firms working out there who would be happy to take people, young students under their wing. But I think what is more important is developing a culture where people are encouraged to do this kind of thing. I mean, when I was in 10th or in junior college, I couldn't even really think of actually going to a firm and saying, okay, could I work with you for some time, or just sit in your office. So that culture, that openness, is something again which we really need to be bringing in our students. I don't think there is a straitjacket answer to how we are going to bring that, but I would just like to identify this as an area which we can definitely improve.
Yeah.
The second side of it is higher. I would like to talk about the graduate degrees, the higher education, so as to speak, after 12th education.
Yeah.
So being a chartered accountant, it is definitely considered as one of the premier degrees in India, and I mean it gives you a very wholesome introduction to a variety of subjects. So we had economics, we had finance, we had law, tax, etc. So it is a good place to start.
Okay.
And it also gives an opportunity to do a 3-year internship, which I did. So which I would say is the best part of that course, because working on the job is something which really introduces you to the field, and it really builds you and turns you into an adult, if I can be frank. But there are a few points which I feel could be drastically improved. So firstly, if you look at the exam pattern or the testing pattern of not just chartered accountancy exam, but all over, especially the humanities field. So maybe it may be economics, law, etc. It is largely, the exam pattern is same which we had in school. So which is basically, you get a bunch of books, you have to read those books, and you have to answer those books, answer the questions, which are basically fact based. There is very little scope for original thinking, very little scope for a research based approach to all this. So one thing which I would really like to suggest anyone who is listening is that we need to change this, wherein we bring a lot more research based approach to it. So there is a beginning to this brought in by the CA Institute. So for example, we have one paper, one optional paper, wherein it is an open book test. So you can bring the books to school, to your exam, and it is an open book test. So there would be open-ended questions which you answer reading the book. So you don't have to concentrate on by-hearting stuff, by-hearting facts and numbers.
Yeah.
So that is a good place to start. But I think we can go much further. I mean, working, I can feel the difference in myself working as a part of my internship. When I got to handle multiple research projects. So there is a lot of perspective which you gain working on research when you're doing some sort of research. So we can suggest a paper, one paper, maybe 100-mark paper, wherein you get a topic. You get a set of topics, and you can choose one topic, and you can write sort of a mini thesis on it. So this is, I think, which is largely absent from graduate studies in India. And I think it would be a great addition, because it gives you a lot of perspective, and it gives it readies you for the real world, because in the real world, by hearting facts is definitely not going to help you. And also, you're not going to be spoon-fed stuff in the real world. So when you're going to write, say, on any topic, any given topic, you really cannot have yourself being spoon-fed. Also, it will create a level playing field. So for example, in a CA exam or any kind of an exam, if you come from a privileged background, you can always go and get lots of guidance from maybe coaching classes, maybe from various books, which is not available to everyone. So it is a little unfair from that angle as well. So these are multiple things which can be sorted by bringing more research oriented approach to the course and to the examination and evaluation process as well. Lastly, I would like to conclude this by I just had I was just meeting a few friends who are working, who are engineers basically. So I would just like to give this example when they were discussing various things, what they are doing, what kind of extracurricular courses they are doing, what kind of work they are getting as a part of their jobs. So what I saw was an approach wherein they were working on many courses, many tasks, many skills which were not a part of their curriculum. And as a CA and again a larger commerce side of the things, I really feel there's something which is lacking in me, wherein I don't have that kind of a dynamism wherein I can go and learn any skill. I can go and learn any skill actually. I mean, there is no actual physical hindrance to it, but the kind of readiness which say engineers have. I'm just giving an example, personal example, so not generalizing for any profession.
Please. Yeah, let's have it.
But yeah, so that is something which needs to be developed in every graduation course, not just commerce, wherein you really can go out of your comfort zone. You can go out and learn a new skill. You are ready to take on any new challenge. You are ready to adapt to any new changes which might come. So that is these are two areas which I think my graduation is definitely over now. But
it's over.
Yeah, but I hope that in the future future students would get the benefit of these changes in the graduation study curriculum.
Well, thank you, Yash. I generally don't add my comments, but on this one, I will.
Yeah.
Because education is also what I'm interested in. I think your ideas are very solid. Okay. There's no dispute about it in my mind. But can I was just, as I was listening to you, I was thinking, so this is not my previous thinking, this is a reaction. I think asking the government to do all these things is like asking for the moon. Okay. You may get it, it, but the chances are that you may not get it. Okay. Why don't you and maybe some of your bosses or some of your professors think about making, say, a 15 to 30-minute video aimed at 10th standard students about chartered accountancy. Okay. Explaining to them what you have gone through, what it means to you if you get into this field, how you will go through it. Today, people are not going to learn many things only from their classroom. Okay, they're going to learn from Google and ChatGPT. Okay, by hearting is totally meaningless in the era of ChatGPT. It was always meaningless. ChatGPT has completely made it irrelevant. Okay, and your lives are going to be in ChatGPT. I was having a talk with a dean of a law school in India, and he was saying that, look, Subodh, help me think through how we can teach our students. Because if today I ask them that please give an analysis of this Supreme Court decision, they can just ask ChatGPT and it will give it. So it's at the fingertip. So what it means is that education has to rethink, but governments are too slow. The problem is that you have to train the teachers. Teachers don't want to be trained. Okay, forget that. Let's be practical. Why don't you, since you are so passionate about it and you are young and you have energy, take the initiative to say, let us make a video, okay, which is informative video. And you can have 2 or 3 videos about chartered accountancy, a guide to your career as a chartered accountant, something like that. And they can be also in Marathi, since you are from Pune. Make it in English, make it in Hindi, make it in Marathi, whatever suits you. Because why should only people learn? Whatever, you decide. But you put together a video and just put it out there. That, and you can come and talk on my channel. Once you've made the video, you can come and talk on my channel. Look, this is our video, and it has been made by me, but approved by my seniors. You don't want the seniors to get in because they studied 30 years ago, and today it's irrelevant. Like what the time that I studied, BA
Mhm.
is completely
Mhm.
irrelevant to today. Okay, we had no
Yeah.
internships, nothing. We were just
Mhm.
sitting in the dark and doing
Mhm.
things. But today the world is, I talk to so many people, all are doing internships. And
Right.
they learn a lot because courses are easy for the smart students. Courses are easy. So they have time.
Yeah.
Why don't you make a proposal for a video which
Mhm.
you and your friends, etc., can make, and it will
Mhm.
be unofficial. It will not be, but you can just say that it has been viewed by these people and they approve of it. It will be a very
Mhm.
good start to
Right.
this problem, that people are asked to choose at a
Mhm.
time when they know nothing about it. It's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
it's like,
Yeah.
how can you choose?
Exactly. Yeah. It is more of a straight bracket choice which you have, that, you one of the three branches you have to choose, and you don't have an option to say, yeah, I will choose a branch wherein I get a bit of everything. So you have to make a final decision at that moment.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
people have no clue what they are doing.
Right. Mhm.
But in our time, it was even worse. Okay, like most of
Mhm.
my friends from II who were from IIT, whom I met later, they used to
Mhm.
say that when I go for a job, right,
Mhm.
in India or in the not in India, they know, but in the US, they ask, why did you choose aeronautical engineering? Right? And the
Mhm.
answer is, my father told me.
Yeah.
What else can the answer be? But today,
Yeah.
fathers don't know the reality. And there are, as
Mhm.
you rightly pointed out, many fathers, many students who are first generation. And
Mhm.
I've handled three recently for first
Mhm.
generation. Their fathers don't know anything about this. They are
Right.
from village or they are from small town. They don't know. How can they know?
Mhm.
They've just brought up their children to be capable. Now, guidance, no, they can't give. So
Mhm.
why don't you try it?
Yeah, definitely. That is a really good idea. And
Yeah.
actually, some of my friends have floated this idea. So definitely would try to work on this.
Yeah,
And
try to
yeah,
work on it. And
yeah.
later on, if you want to promote more and more people to come into chartered accountancy, this
Mhm.
can actually become part of your work. And it need not be non-profit. You can,
Mhm.
I mean, you put stuff out on YouTube, you get ads, you get some money. Maybe I'm
Right.
also hoping to get some money from this
Yeah.
channel. Okay, if there's sufficient scale, then
Mhm.
YouTube gives you some of the ad money. So it need not be
Yeah.
non-profit. You can put it
Mhm.
out there, make it slickly, and you have capability and
Yeah.
start. We can't wait for the government. This is
Yeah.
impossible, to
Mhm.
think that they can make such a drastic change, that they will change the by heart system. No. So
Yeah.
what the software people have done to avoid all this is that they give their own certifications, like
Mhm.
Amazon AWS, it's called Amazon Web Services,
Yeah.
level 1, level 2. Microsoft has level 1, level 2. Then nobody cares what degree you have. Okay.
Mhm.
But you can still go to college and get your degree, but on the
Yeah.
side you can take a open book exam for CA, right?
Mhm.
And you get the certification from
Understood. Yeah.
some vigilance and all has to be done, but that's now
Mhm.
it's not a big deal. You have to put the webcam and show what is going on, so it's all known.
Mhm.
Why don't you think about it?
Yeah, definitely. That is a great idea. I would definitely explore this idea.
Okay, good. Because I'm
Yeah.
also fed up of the educational system. You're the first person I've found who says I'm willing to do something about it, but in my field, and stick to your
Yeah.
field so that you are
Yeah.
confident and you know what you are saying and doing, and you have
Mhm.
the approval of some higher up people, and it's
Mhm.
unofficial. It's your view. I mean, why not?
Mhm.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Keep in touch. Let
Yeah.
me
Sure.
know, and we'll come back to you in 6 months or so and see where you are.
Yeah. Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. Anything else you want to add?
Not really. I
Okay.
think that was, yeah.
Okay, you have many ideas, but you can't act on all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
I think the most important one is that people are so ignorant and forced to make a choice. That is
Mhm.
really the terrible thing that you don't know what you are doing.
Hmm. Right. Yeah.
It's just awful. Okay. And then
Hmm.
there's no changing, like in the US, you go to college, you don't have to say what you're going to study. Then after
Hmm.
1 year, you change. Right? Some people go from here to there, and it's
Yeah.
freedom. You can choose after
Hmm.
seeing the courses, after learning things, you can choose,
Right.
right? There's some
Hmm.
core courses everybody has to take, but others you can
Hmm.
take whatever you like. So
Right.
you get a feel of many
Hmm.
things. Anyway, we can't have that in India. It's not possible. But so this is my suggestion. And
Hmm.
we keep in touch by text or
Yeah.
email or whatever. And let's
Sure.
see where you go with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And in case you need my support, I'm there.
Yeah. Definitely.
Okay. All right. So
Okay.
shall we end it here today?
Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So bye,
Okay.
everybody. I'll be back with another young, innovative Indian
Yeah.
who has some bright ideas next. This is the whole point of this discussion, that we look at their ideas and experience,
Hmm.
and or some expert. So bye till then. Bye.
Bye.